regardless of your skill level. Regardless of your skill level, you have access to that. This is regardless of your skill level. You don't have to. That's why some people don't get it. Like some people don't. There's days I totally don't get it. Regardless of your skill level, you have access to it. You know, this is not a thing that you only have access to if you get to a certain skill level. You know, of course, the more you do it, the more you can, right? The more you can use it. But this is something you have access to right from the beginning. You don't. There's no permission you need to ask. No one needs to grant you, only yourself. You need to go to that place. How do you go to that place again, guys? It's simple and yet not, right? It doesn't feel simple. Especially when you're anxious. When you're anxious, it feels impossible. That's the feeling, at least. It's not true. The mind is messing with you. But it's simple. There's one way into it. And that's attention. The Sufi talk about that a lot. The Zen too, the Zen masters talk about that. There are a lot of people that are Zen, they don't even know they're Zen. They know how to get in it. All they do is just start doing their work. One brushwork after another. One hammer after another. Typing one letter after another. Writing one word after another. And all of a sudden, for instances, maybe, I don't know, maybe the whole life, who knows. But at least for instances, they become Zen masters. They become, not become, but you guys know what I mean. Experience it, right? Experience that, for instances. I think that's why this whole artsy-fartsy thing is so attractive to many people. Why wouldn't it be attractive? Every time that you want to go touch that again, right? It's a touchstone. It's a place, not even that. It's a pure place. Of course, you want to go back to it. And then we cry like children when we get upset as artists, musicians, whatever. When we're not in the flow, we get even angry. We don't understand what's going on. We're anxious. That's what's happening. That's why Jesus was like, why are you guys so anxious? What's wrong with your morrow? You know? Why are you so upset about tomorrow? Anxious comes from lack of present moment awareness, and we're thinking about not having enough time. So that's why tomorrow is a place where we're hopeful. Really, the true state to be is not to be hopeful. The true state is not to be hopeful. The true state is just to be. Not to be anything, just to be. I find this in art. I lose it and then I regain it. It's really, sometimes I feel like God is playing a sick game with me. I know it's not true, but it feels that way sometimes. Because I lose it and I regain it. All of a sudden I find myself creating artwork and in this intense, almost meditation, state of meditation, where I know that all is well. And then I lose it, right? On my own, right? No one makes me lose it. I lose it on my own. It looks like it's an exterior condition. Oh man, I fought with my friend, or I fought with my wife, or, some external condition happened. It looks like it's an external condition, but it's not an external condition. It's not an external thing. It's us. We pick it and we drop it. Attention is something that you pick and you drop. Hopefully one day it's not going to be that. But then again, maybe it's the way it's supposed to be. for now. But it's something that you pick and you drop, you pick and you drop. And that's many times what makes it so difficult to understand, right? Or to accept that there's days that you're like, man, I feel like Michelangelo. And then there's days like, what is that thing again? It's a brush? Like, how do you use that thing? and know well, no? It's part of it. Let know well. So yeah. Hope I didn't bore anyone to sleep. It's late right now. I wanted to make this painting and I felt a little inspired to talk to you guys about this. I think that it's important to sometimes touch on these things. Because we think it's something else. We blame everything outside. We think, oh man, I don't know. I spent months figuring it out, right? Years, but months in a row. Like, what is it? Why am I not feeling? And then people are like, well, it's because you're not grateful. Oh, it's because, right? And it's on and on and on and on. And it's all true, right? Because, if you don't have attention, you don't have even the capacity in that moment to have gratitude because you can't see it because you're too focused on something else. You focus on being anxious, right? Somewhere in the future, or sometimes somewhere in the past, but most likely I think it's always almost somewhere in the future. And then there's this fear that comes in. I'm not enough. I don't know how to do this. I'm not enough. No matter what I do, I'm not enough. There's this thing that keeps popping up. Of course, that's not true. That's just the mind trying to make sense of it. But we can go time and again doing that to ourselves, right? I'm not enough. No matter where I go, no matter what I do. The Buddha used to call it dukkha. Where you go, no matter what you do, you will encounter dukkha. You will be uncomfortable. Until you again accept this moment, you welcome it. When you start welcoming it, it's almost like a fairy tale, no? You start welcoming it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna be your friend now. I was resisting this movie called. My wife was like, you gotta watch that movie. My wife loves this movie too. Groundhog Day. Yeah, I was resisting watching Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day talks about that very well, right? This dude is just resisting life because life keeps kicking him in the ass, right? So he's forced to in Catholicism, it would be called purgatory, right? Or reincarnation, if it's another tradition, maybe, I don't know. But he's forced to live the same moment over and over again until he learns how to accept it and how to be cool with it, right? And as he does that, that's the way out. Right? He's like, oh, okay, well, this moment is awesome. I'll be cool with it. And then all kinds of, well, those of you who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it because I guess I just spoiled it already. But all kinds of cool stuff start happening for him because he's no longer fighting what is, right? In the beginning, he's just constantly fighting what is. And it takes him a while, right? I think years go by and it's like he finally gets tired of fighting the repetition. He gets tired of it and he's like, you know what? F this. I'm going to learn how to be okay with this moment. And it's the only time where it starts making sense again, right? He picks up the flavor of love. No, the flavor of life. Flavor Flav. He picks up the flavor of life again. Yeah, so it's a flavor. It's a flavor. It's a flavor. One of my favorite books is The Gospel of Thomas. It's one of the books out there that apocrypha, I think it is considered apocrypha. Whatever. Who cares now? But it's one of my favorite books because he says whoever reads this, I guess saying whoever understands it in another way, right? Will not taste death. Right? I thought it was very interesting. I said, will not taste death, as if, and I think the author explains also that. Explains how Mitchell, I think is the author, explains what if you're talking about taste of death, then it's as if you're saying you already know what it tastes like, right? It's not something that you haven't. You know what it is, right? The taste of death, because you talk about taste as something that you know. It's interesting that I believe that taste is life itself. No, it's the joy of life, the taste. That taste goes away, the joy of life goes away. I believe that's one of the reasons too. I'm sharing with you guys some of the stuff that I've learned in my life. My mother was deeply spiritual, so I think I inherited the love for certain books from her. But it's one of the reasons I believe one of I don't know where it's in the Bible, but one of the Mexican, maybe not just Mexican, maybe just in Spanish, gospel songs talks about if salt loses its flavor, right? If salt loses its flavor, I'm sure that people have great explanations for what that means out there. You can't witness, right? You can't witness. It says in the gospel says, the gospel song says, if salt loses its flavor, you can't witness. You can't witness God, right? If salt loses its flavor, and to me, right? Not imposing anything, just talking about me here. just being an artist, talking about myself here. But to me, that's very clear. It's saying if salt loses its flavor, really, the only way that salt can lose its flavor is, well, not the only way, but it's a very common way, right? When there's no awareness. When you're angry, when you're anxious, food loses its flavor. Everything loses its flavor. Right? So it's very interesting to me that it says if salt loses its flavor, you cannot witness God, meaning, whatever you think God is, whatever you know God is, to be the totality, You cannot witness the totality. You don't even have the capacity, right? It's not even there. Because you've lost touch with your senses. You've lost touch with your senses. You cannot taste salt. So you've lost touch with your senses. You can't even, it's not even there. What a beautiful song. I really dig it. I was remembering, I don't know why I started remembering this song right now, maybe because it made sense to what I was talking about. When I was a kid, it didn't make any sense. I listened to it and, I just liked it because something that my mom's saying. She was still alive around the house. But as I'm getting older, I'm like, man, how deeply spiritual were those things? I'm sure all traditions have that. I am more than sure all traditions have that. They're all pointing at it. It's just that it becomes difficult to the mind. The mind can't see it, right? It's not. That's why I talk about painting without the mind. It's a reminder for me, really, guys. It's not that I'm trying to teach you guys anything or trying to be here, Mr. Guru. No, it's really a reminder for me. Like Jose, don't forget, man. Suspend it. Suspend the mind. You don't need it to paint. It's not necessary. Let the juice come out. Something like that. Anyways, guys, this is my little rendition of a ballerina here. I think it's pretty interesting to me, right? Maybe someone out there may like it and finds a great home. Because don't think that because I was talking to you about some cool stuff, I'm not going to pitch. I'm always pitching. This is pitching. This is what I do. So go check it out on my eBay site. It's going to be available there. Bam. What do you guys think? This guy's talking about like salt losing its flavor and all kinds of cool stuff, and you guys didn't think I was going to pitch? You're wrong. There you guys have it. The name is Jose Trujillo. I happen to be the world's greatest living artist. It's just, I don't know, it just happened that way. Someone was like, dude, you're going to be the world's greatest living artist? Yes, I am. Bam. Let me show you guys what it looks like from here. It's a little simple, petite ballerina. A bit, I don't know, Fauvist, expressionist. Who knows? I like it. I dig it. I think it's pretty cool. Some hard light. Some chiaro oscuro. All right, guys, take care. I will talk to you soon again. I hope that you guys enjoy this little session and share it. Share it. Don't be stingy. Share it with some people out there. Someone may really enjoy it, and I don't know, why not? You know, maybe someone needs to hear this so that they can get back in their groove. Maybe, I don't know. I certainly work daily to get back in my groove. I'm always trying to stay in that groove, and when I'm not, I feel a little sad and lost, and I have to get back in there. So take care, guys. Good night. Well, it's night for me, so good night.